Us hear and obey.
I stand for the light. I'm here to help. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. Is there danger? The light is my strength. For honor.
2 plus 3 times star. What do you want?
Justice shall be done. Feel my wrath. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. Of course. For honor. I stand for the light. Of course. For honor. Is there danger? Foul. I'm here to help. Certainly. Of course. For my father. Is there danger? Certainly. A sound plan. Foul. I'm here to help. Of course. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. For honor. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. For Lord.
First blood.
Justice has come. Is there danger? Justice shall be done. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Of course.
Double kill.
I'm here to help. Certainly.
Greetings, my
Is
lord.
there danger? I'm here to help. Feel my wrath.
Welcome
Our
to
warriors
our
have engaged the enemy.
Justice shall be done. For honor. I stand for the light. Certainly. Justice shall be done.
I'll have it up in no time.
Our warriors
Where
have
is the
engaged the enemy.
I stand for the light. For my father, the king. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Justice shall be done. Is there danger? A sound plan. Certainly. A sound
Killing spree. Double kill.
A sound plan. Justice shall be done. I stand for the light. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. Justice shall be done. For honor.
Our warriors have engaged
interrupting
our
my
allies'
calculations.
town needs help.
I wish here to help. The light is my strength. I'm here to help. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. For honor. For Lord.
Double kill.
I stand for the light. Thy bidding, master.
Hello.
The light is my strength. A sound plan. I stand for the light.
Unstoppable. Triple kill.
I'm here to help. The light is my strength.
Killing spree. Double kill.
A sound plan. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course.
Dominating. Wicked sick.
I stand for the light.
Mega kill. Double kill.
My life for this.
Monster kill.
The light is my strength. Of course. Certainly.
Triple kill. Ultra kill.
Certainly.
Ownage.
Justice shall be done. I stand for the light. A sound plan. Certainly. I'm here to help you. Of course. Justice shall be done. For honor.
Holy shit.
A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Only to serve. Is there danger? Betrayal of light. Justice is coming. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. I bow to your
Spidey sense.
Aye.
What news?
The light is my strength. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Justice shall be done. I'm here to help. A sound plan. Of course. Is there danger? A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan.
Killing spree.
Of course. Certainly. For honor. Of course. For the father. Feel my wrath. I'm here to help. A sound plan. Aye. Is there danger? Certainly. For honor. A sound plan.
Our
course.
allies' town
A
is
sound plan. For honor. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. For no reason. Of course.
Double
A
kill.
sound plan. The light is my strength. Betrayer of the light. Of course. A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan.
Triple kill.
A sound plan. For honor. A sound plan. Justice shall be done.
Killing spree. Ownage.
Is there danger? Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. For my father's king.
Killing spree. Double kill.
Justice shall be done. A sound plan. For honor.
Dominating. Triple kill.
For honor. Certainly. Of course. Is there danger? Justice shall be done. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound
Mega kill. Unstoppable. Double kill.
Our warriors have engaged.
Dominating. Double kill.
Give me something to do!
Welcome to our village.
Is there danger? A sound plan. Justice shall be done. The light is Betrayer of the light. For my father, the king. Of course. For honor. Betrayer of the light.
Double kill.
Is there danger? Certainly. Of course. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. I stand for the light. Of course. I'm here to help. Justice is coming. Betrayal. For Lord Feel my wrath. Light is my strength. Certainly.
Double kill.
For honor.
Triple kill.
Where shall my blood be spilled? I stand. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly.
Dominating.
A sound plan. Of course. Justice.
Double kill.
A sound plan. Of course.
Unstoppable. Triple kill.
Our allies' town needs help.
A sound plan. Is there danger? Of course. A sound plan. I'm here to help. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. Of course. Certainly. For honor. Of course. For honor. You are past redemption. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. A sound. I'm here to help. For honor. Of course. For honor. Certainly. Of course. Certainly.
Kill. Dominating. Triple kill. Ultra kill.
This town needs help.
Certainly. For honor. Is there danger? I'm here to help. Of course. The light is my strength. For honor. Certainly. For honor. Of course. Justice shall be done. For honor. A sound plan. Betrayal. Feel my wrath. Of course. For honor.
Double kill.
Foul knave.
Mega kill.
Of course. You are past redemption. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Of course. Certainly.
Our warriors have
I
engaged the
stand
enemy.
for the light. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly.
Mega kill. Unstoppable. Double
Of
kill.
course. Justice shall be done. The light is my strength. I stand.
Triple kill.
Of course. A sound plan. Of course.
Our allies' town
honor.
needs help.
Certainly.
Killing.
A sound.
Wicked double kill.
I will wish only to serve. My life for Nezul. Justice shall be done. For honor. A sound plan. I'm here to help.
Monster kill!
Our
I
allies'
wish
town
only
needs
to
help.
serve. I'm here to help. Where light is my strength. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. Of course.
Godlike!
A sound plan. My life for Nezul. Justice shall be done. Certainly. For honor.
Our allies' town needs help.
Of course. Certainly.
Holy
Of course.
shit!
Light is my strength. A sound plan. Of course. I stand. For honor. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. For honor.
Our
Certainly.
allies' town needs help.
Justice has come. I'm here to help. Of course. A sound plan.
Our allies'
A
town
sound
needs help.
plan.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
For honor. Certainly. For honor. For my father that came. Certainly. For honor.
Our allies' town needs help.
For honor. Certainly. I use the light of my strength. For honor. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. The light of my strength. For honor.
Our allies' town needs help.
Sound. Certainly. I'm here to help. A sound plan. For honor.
Our allies' town needs help.
A sound plan. Justice shall be done. I'm here to help. For honor. Is there danger? A sound plan. Certainly.
Our allies' town needs help.
A sound plan. For honor. Of course. Certainly. For honor. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. For honor.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Double kill!
Our allies' town needs help. Greetings, my lord.
The light is my strength. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. Certainly. Is there danger? A sound plan. I
Our
stand for
allies'
the light.
town needs help.
I'm here to help. For honor. Certainly. Of course. For honor. A sound. For honor. Certainly. For honor. A sound. I stand for the light. Certainly. I'm here to help. Bow to your will. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. For honor. Is there danger? The light is my strength. Is there danger? Certainly. For Lord Around. Of course. Sound. Certainly.
Killing spree.
A sound plan.
Double kill.
Our allies' town needs help.
Hello.
Light is my strength.
Our allies' town needs help.
Certainly. Of course. For honor. Of course. Certainly. For honor. I stand for the light. Certainly. Of course.
Our allies' town needs help.
Certainly. I stand for the light. Sound. Certainly. Of course. All gold quiet. Justice shall be done. A sound plan.
Our allies' town
Certainly.
needs help.
Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan.
Welcome to our village.
Our allies' town needs help.
Strength. I'm here to help. Justice shall be done. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly.
Killing spree.
Of course. From the Father that
Our allies' town
Certainly.
needs help.
a sound
Dominating. Double kill.
stand for the light.
Mega kill. Triple kill.
A sound. Justice shall be done.
Our allies' town needs help.
I stand for the light. I'm here to help. Justice.
Unstoppable. Double kill. Killing spree.
Our allies' town needs
A
help.
sound plan. For Lord Oran. I'm here to help. For honor. The light is my strength. Of course. For honor. Is there danger?
Our allies' town
course.
needs help.
A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. Of course. Certainly.
Our allies'
here to
town
help.
needs help.
For honor. Feel my Of course. Justice is come. A sound. Of course. Certainly.
Monster kill.
Our allies' town needs help.
Dominating.
The light is my strength. Certainly. For honor. Of course. Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course.
Our allies' town
Sound
needs help.
For honor. Certainly.
Greetings, my lord.
I'm here to help. Is there danger? A sound plan. Light is my strength. For honor. Of course. Certainly. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. sound plan. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. Is there danger? For honor. A sound plan. Certainly. Justice shall be done. For honor. Is there danger?
required.
Certainly. Of course. A sound plan. Justice is come.
Mega kill.
A sound plan. Of course. Certainly.
Our allies' town needs
Justice
help.
shall be done. Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. For honor. Of course. A sound plan.
Our allies' town needs help.
Killing spree.
For honor.
Dominating. Double kill. Mega kill. Triple kill.
Our town needs help.
A sound plan. Of course. For honor. You are past redemption. Of course. For honor. Justice shall be done. A sound plan. Certainly.
Our
Of
allies'
course.
town needs
A
help.
sound plan. For honor. I stand for the light. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. Certainly. Of course. Certainly. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. A sound plan.
Double kill. Unstoppable.
Our allies' town needs help.
Wicked sick.
Our town needs help.
A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Justice shall be done. Stand. Certainly. Justice
Our
shall be
allies'
done.
town needs help.
Of course. For honor. A sound plan. Of course.
Our warriors
Stand. A sound plan. Certainly. A sound plan. For Lord Orion. For honor. Feel my wrath. Certainly. Justice shall be done. Is there danger? For honor. Light is my strength. Certainly. For honor. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Of course. Certainly. For honor. Certainly. Of course. Is there danger?
Our allies' town needs help.
Certainly.
Killing spree.
Of course. For honor. Certainly.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Killing spree. Double kill. Dominating.
Stand.
Triple kill.
Here to help. Of course. Sound plan. You are past redemption.
engaged the enemy.
Justice shall be done. Of course, a sound plan. For my father, the king. You are packed for death. For honor. For Lord Oran. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly. For honor.
Dominating.
Of course. Certainly. I stand for the light. Here to help. For honor. Certainly. Of course.
Double unstoppable. Triple kill.
Justice shall be done. Is there danger? A sound plan. More gold is required. I'm here to help. I stand for the light. Justice shall be done. Certainly. For Lord Oran. Feel my wrath. For Lord Oran.
Wicked soul. Monster kill.
A sound plan. The light is my strength. Certainly. A sound plan. For my father.